Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Season 3, Episode 3 of Amphibia. So here's where things get interesting. Because the website I used, Kim Cartoon, to download these for the sake of the reactions and everything. Sorry about that if you heard that. That was my phone. The season was sorted out weirdly. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'm mentioning it here. To where it's like it like listed there as being more episodes than others, because for some episodes, for some reason, it was listing segments as whole episodes. So like when it listed them on the website, it listed episode 3, but that was only 3A. Episode 4, as it was listed, is actually 3B. So I got them all downloaded. It's all fine at this point, but so there's going to be, at points throughout this season, a lot of having to, you know, switch between videos just to get even a full episode in. But yeah, we're just going to go through episode 3 today, so that's going to be 2 videos, 3A and 3B, unfortunately. It's stupid. I don't know why they uploaded it like that. It's stupid. There's no reason for it. And it's not the only show that's ever been uploaded like that, but still. Either way, yeah, the season is still just begun. Not too much going on. We have some setup with kind of where things are at right now. Sasha and Grime are defending Wartwood. We have Anne and the Planters in the human world and trying to figure everything going there. You know what I mean. Trying to figure out everything going on there and how to possibly get back, while also, you know, just being around humans and everything, and Anne's parents. So it's pretty interesting. And we had this robot in the first episode, and that's obviously coming back because it's repairing itself, but I don't know how long that's going to take or what that's going to entail. We'll just have to see. I'm definitely interested, though. This season is starting off a little slow, but we'll see how it goes. It's so far keeping track of things. But my hype is still there. I'm still excited for where this is going to head into. So we're just going to get this started. Like I said, we're just doing episode 3 today. We're just continuing on with one episode at a time for now. But we will in the future get into the point where we just start like going with like what we had been doing for season 2, and it's like, oh, we'll just get through as many episodes as we can here. Whatever we feel like, whenever we feel like stopping. That we're going to get back to that at some point, but for now, we'll just go on with excuse me. Sorry for all the yawning. But for now, we'll just go on with what we got. So, let's get this going. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Pretty good episode here. Both segments were pretty good. I don't know how I would compare these to other ones yet. At least for this season, I would say that these are... I guess I would probably say this was better than episode 2. Overall. Overall. Though I still think Turning Point, the segment from episode 2, is the best segment. But the overall episode was better because of Hop Till You Drop from episode 2 was just kind of meh to me. If that makes any sense at all. Like, again, Turning Point from episode 2. 2B is my favorite segment. But this is my favorite total full episode so far in season 3. Also, I said season 2. Or did I say episode? I meant episode 2B. Either way. Season 3, episode 3 is my favorite full episode, with both segments being really good. Okay, so let's talk about it. First, we had Thai Feud. Obviously, just a play on Thai food. And this is an episode I wanted to see, for sure. If you guys remember, there was an episode in season 1. Let me see if I can find the episode title. I have a list of titles here, because I always want to make sure I get the titles correct. There's an episode in season 1 here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, Lily Pad Thai. As you guys may remember, I loved that segment. It was episode 9A of season 1, where Anne helped basically change up Stumpy's Diner into a fusion restaurant with her Thai heritage and everything. And it talked about, having worked in a restaurant with her parents and everything. And so we finally get like a follow-up to that. We get a straight up follow-up that just fully captures what we wanted to see from that. We get to see the restaurant. Although we don't get to see a lot of it, unfortunately, we do get to see them working. We do get to see like their kind of camaraderie while they're working. They have fun. They make fun with it, and it reminds me of when I was really young. My dad worked at Little Caesars, and he would occasionally bring me into the Little Caesars to help out. And I wouldn't do much, but he would like have me like cut the dough and everything and measure it out. And it was a long, long time ago, but I still remember it, and it's a fond memory. It's one of those few fond memories I have with my father. It was just a genuinely good, fond memory of just helping out. And yeah, we would have pizza every time I was brought in, of course. And I would help make things, even things that were being made for customers, I would help with. And it's like, it was fun. Now, I don't know if I would still have fun doing that, but at the time, I liked that. And so this kind of reminds me of that. Seeing Anne and her parents just working a little bit in this episode. Seeing, like, Mr. Boonchuy throwing the food into Anne's mouth and, like, them celebrating because she caught it and all. It's, like, it's super cute. Plus, Anne's parents are just super fucking cute as it is. So it's, like, just seeing them, like, be dorky and have fun and everything is great. So this kind of has a double conflict in it, which is both basically the same conflict, just with two different characters. Sprig and Ned. Sprig has been wanting to become part of the Boonchuy family. Because Anne is a part of the Planter family in a way, she's seen as family rather than just as a guest for them. Sprig wanted to experience the same thing with the Boonchuys. Instead of being a guest, he wants to feel like he's just a normal part of the family. And so, in order to do that, he tries to do whatever he can for Mrs. Boonchuy to basically acknowledge him. Meanwhile, we have Ned, a food truck operator who is trying to get the Boonchuys to sign off on him running a food truck for them, to sell their food using their recipes in a food truck style. And as Mrs. Boonchuy points out, his heart is in the right place. He wants to help them. He's not listening. Because Mrs. Boonchuy has told him they don't want to do that. That's just not in their plans. And that's perfectly fair. That's perfectly reasonable. But he's so invested in wanting to help them because he adores their restaurant that he's not really thinking about how overly pushy he's being. And so we have both Sprig and Ned being overly pushy, going too far to try and help so they can be part of this family in a way. And both of them have to learn that they can't force that. That if they want to be involved with the Boonchuy family, it has to come naturally, and it has to be in a more positive manner. So Sprig is just causes a lot of trouble. He even tries to take out Ned's food truck because he believes it'll please Mrs. Boonchuy, because he sees that she's not into that. And it all ends with Mrs. Boonchuy scolding him and accepting him as a member of the family rather than a guest. And both him and Ned realize that they shouldn't have handled things the way they did, and both of them get what they wanted. Again, Sprig gets to be scolded and gets to be a part of the family, and Ned is accepted as an employee for the restaurant, but not running a food truck, instead doing deliveries, which is fair. And there's even a joke about how he was kind of culturally appropriating their food and everything, their cultural food heritage, through how he was trying to handle this. It's like he kind of was. He kind of was. He's this white dude who's trying to like culturally appropriate, trying to like, how do I put it? Trying to make it his own in a way that's just not okay. And he's voiced by Wayne Knight, who's a great comedic actor who's been in some great things, some great movies and shows and all. And it's like, yeah, it's like it is such a great choice to have Wayne Knight voice him. He fit it perfectly. And I just really thought this was a really nice episode. And again, it delivered on some of the stuff that I wanted since season 1. I wanted to know more about the restaurant. I wanted to see it eventually, maybe. And now that we do have it to where they have gone to the human world, it's like, now we got to, and that's awesome. And then we have the second segment, Adventures in Cat Sitting. And this one wasn't as good for me until the end. And I'll explain. So this one focuses on the planters trying to take Domino to the vet. Because Anne has a dentist appointment due to being gone for 5 months. Her mother wants to make sure all's going to be okay there. Which, fair. And Mr. Boonchuy is going to be working at the restaurant. So someone else needs to take Domino to the vet. And so the planters, who realize that they've been there for a week already and haven't really added anything to help out, feel that, especially Hop Bop, feels that they need to, contribute. And that's completely fair and completely reasonable, that they want to help out, that they want to contribute, that they want to do their fair share instead of being freeloaders. That's completely fair and reasonable. And I like that they have that attitude about it. So they try to help out with Domino, take her to the vets, and they go on these misadventures along the way. They get kicked out of a bus. They have to deal with the other animals at the vet, and eventually have to fake a fire alarm. And it's like, there's some really funny jokes in there too. Um, like the one dog just like latching onto Hop Pop's face. Um, Hop Pop being able to imitate like sirens and beeping noises and stuff. And one of the funniest jokes when they're going to get Domino from the shawarma restaurant, because apparently Domino's favorite food is shawarma, which is really specific, but okay. Um, like after like faking the siren and all, everybody's running out, and it's like this girl's still there. It's like, I haven't got my order yet. And the shawarma guy, the employee there, is like, okay, the shawarma's good, but is it good enough to risk your life, Karen? And it's just like, he called her a Karen. He called her a Karen. And she's like, that's not my name, but I see your point. And it's like, they actually put that in this episode. They actually put in someone being called a Karen. And it's like, I don't know how to react to that. It's fucking hilarious and amazing, but I don't know how to react to that. Um, yeah, it's just a lot of goofy shenanigans and really funny jokes and everything setting this up. Also, there was a snake at the vet, and I love snakes, so that made me happy. Um, but then we get like, the fire trucks are coming because, faked a fire alarm. And so Mr. Boonchuy comes to get them all out of there, having come from the restaurant and everything. And that's where the true heart of this episode comes in, and the part that actually made it really good for me, like really good. Um, we have the planters admitting that they just wanted to help out, that they just wanted to contribute, and that they felt like they were freeloading. And in what is probably Mr. Boonchuy's best moment so far, he tells them, you looked after my daughter for 5 months. You took her in. You cared for her. You made sure she stayed safe. You don't owe us anything. We owe you. And they thank him, and he's like, no, thank you. And it's so genuine, so heartfelt, such a perfect wrap up to the entire conflict of the episode that it makes me tear up. It makes me emotional. Because it's true. For the 5 months that Anne was trapped in Amphibia, the planners took her in, and they were concerned about her at first. I've been rewatching this series with my sister, and they didn't trust her at first. They took her in out of kindness, but they were wary of her. But eventually, they accepted her as family, and they protected her with their lives on multiple occasions. They made sure she stayed safe and was able to eventually come back, even if the situation wasn't quite a good situation and how it happened. Still, so that part really just like was powerful. Seeing Mr. Boonchuy just open up and show how thankful and just how caring he is about them because of what they did for his daughter. And it's like Mrs. Boonchuy already had some great moments for sure, but this is like the first one that really, really sticks out for Mr. Boonchuy. Like this, he really shined here. And the delivery on it, the delivery on his lines was fantastic. It just really, it was just really nailed in every sense of the word. This the delivery, the emotion of it, everything was just perfection. And it really just impressed me. And again, it tied the entire episode together. The episode's entire conflict was centering around this idea. This idea that they wanted to help, and we find out why. Even after a week, the Boonchuys never really asked them for help. Why they still treat them as guests, and why they still, in a way, wait on them hand and foot. Because the planters protected their daughter, who they were scared was possibly dead for 5 months, who they had probably started to give up on ever seeing again. To find out that during that time someone was looking out for her and protecting her and keeping her safe, the planters are heroes to them. That's why they will gladly wait hand and foot on them. Why they will gladly continue to treat them as honored guests. And it's beautiful. And it was like, out of these two segments, it was easily the best moment in this episode. The best single moment by far. It was just so perfect. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I hope we get more moments like this in this season. With Mr. and Mrs. Boonchuy, with other characters maybe. And when Sasha and Anne and hopefully Marcy do reunite, I hope we get moments like that with them too, especially with Marcy, after what she had done, the mistakes she had made. So, yeah, this episode was really good. It delivered on something I've been wanting to see. It gave us a lot of good humor. Wayne Knight had a great guest role. And on top of that, it had a genuinely heartfelt moment that surprised me in the best way. So, tell me in the comments below what you thought of episode 3 of season 3 of Amphibia. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.